Oh, I'm sitting on my feet and it's painful. And I hope I pronounced the names right, because if I don't, I'm really sorry. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing well. Today's video will be a part 2 of what I read over quarantine. Today there will be a mixture of some fiction books as well as some self-help books. So yeah, let's get into it. Book number 1 is Everything is Figureoutable by Mary Forleo. This is my most recent read from the self-help books. This book is absolutely great, especially for people that are not sure which way to go in life and they feel like they're stuck and they don't know if it's ever gonna get better. This book is just a great reminder that everything in the world is figureoutable and that you can always change your circumstances, you can always change your life as long as you want to and as long as you do the work. And it's basically filled with Mary's life story, and then after every chapter there is like set of questions that you should answer for yourself. And I absolutely love these types of books that are basically giving you straight away like practical use of the tips that the authors are giving. It's basically like making you engage with the book. It was very interesting to see my answers to the questions, and there are stories of other people that actually applied the principles from this book into their everyday lives and how much their lives have changed and how much their lives have improved just based on changing their mindset. Everything is Figureoutable is a wonderful book. Book number 2 is fiction, and it's An American Marriage by Thierry Jones. This book is fiction, but I believe the story beautifully describes how the systemic racism works in the United States and how extremely unfair is the whole justice system in the United States, and how the race is truly playing a huge role in people's lives, and how innocence just doesn't mean a thing if you're a person of color. And I believe it's a great read for a white person with white privilege, because it gives you the insight of how the reality of systemic racism truly is, and it just describes how systemic racism truly ruins people's lives. It was just really eye-opening for me. Very brutally described what it's like to be a black person in the United States. Definitely a great read. It's actually not a very thick book, and yeah, I finished it in one day. I couldn't stop turning the pages. The story was kind of unfolding and it was kind of keeping me glued to like turn the next page. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this. Book number 3 is called Letting Go, and it's by Dr. David R. Hawkins. I have a very special relationship with this book. I believe it's one of my absolute favorites when it comes to like self-help books. I've been having kind of on and off relationship with this book since last year, and I had it only as an audiobook before, but before the lockdown and quarantine started, I purchased a hard copy as well. I was in a very dark place in the beginning of the whole lockdown, especially the first week. Then I kind of like gotten used to it and started enjoying it. I knew that I'm going to be stuck in London by myself. My family lives in different countries and my friends don't live close by either. And I drifted ways with someone that I deeply cared about, so it was a very difficult time for me, and that's why I went back to this book, because it just gives you these beautiful practical tools how to get from a dark place of sadness and grief and anger to the higher frequency of courage and happiness and love and ultimately peace. I just really love this book. I can say it really saved me, and it saved me simply because I decided to apply the principles from the book in my everyday life. It wasn't just like I read it and like something came to me, you know. I had to actually do the work, but I wanted to do the work because I wanted to get better. I wanted to feel better. I wanted to do better. I wanted to become a better person for myself, but for the world as well. Like, I didn't want to be angry and cry all the time. Like, that's not who I wanted to be. So basically the principles from this book kind of brought me closer to myself, and based on the principles I managed to get to know myself better and to start being more kind to myself, and that led me to be kinder to others. And letting go of grudges and anger and like past traumas is so important. And the moment you understand yourself and get to know yourself on this level, when you can actually like admit that something is wrong with you and that you have probably some underlying issues that need to be let go of, you will be so much more free and so much more happy. I couldn't recommend this book more. It's wonderful. I love it so much. It helped me so much. And if you realize that you have some underlying issues and there is something that you should maybe figure out in your, you know, in yourself just to become a better person, then I definitely recommend this one. Book number 4 is another fiction, and it's called The Wives by Lauren Weisberger, and I hope I pronounced the names right, because if I don't, I'm really sorry. This book has everything what you want from an easy read fiction book. It has entertainment, it has a little bit of drama. It's a story of 3 women in their, I believe, late 30s, living in suburbs of New York City, and they are kind of like higher up class, and they're going through their fair share of life struggles, and it's very entertaining. So if you just want to like get out from the reality and you want to read something easy, I would definitely recommend this. It actually taught me a little bit about like plastic surgeries and like all of these things. I was very surprised and entertained. Next book is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Dr. Stephen Covey. This book had such a great impact on my life and on lives of many people. This was the first book that I read about like how important habits are and how habits basically form our lives, and the habits that you can find in this book are so crucial for, I believe, everybody, but especially for leaders and like managers and entrepreneurs. I believe everyone who is in a leading position should definitely read this book, go through the habits, and implement them into their everyday lives, because it will make their lives so much easier and it will make their work a lot more efficient. So if you're currently in a leading position and you're struggling and maybe your team is not behaving the way you want them to, and they maybe don't care as much about the work as much as you would like them to, this book is going to give you the tips and tricks on how to delegate and how to lead in a way that your team actually wants to follow and doesn't just make fun of you and does not disrespect you, but actually wants to work and deliver the service or the job that they should be delivering. This book is just truly great, transformational from personal point of view as well from the business point of view. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Next book is another fiction, and it's called Half a World Away by Mike Gale. This book was recommended to me by my sister, and she told me what a great book it is, and I was like, yeah, sure. So I got it, and I'm not saying the book isn't good, but this book made me cry like 100 times, I swear to you. This story is so heartbreaking, beautiful, moving. It had everything, you know? It made me cry, it made me laugh, it made me think about life in general. It is a very good book, okay? But I have to warn you, like, grab tissues before you read it because you will need them for sure. It's a story of siblings, brother and sister, who got separated when they were children and they reunite when they are adults. The brother doesn't really know anything about the sister and she finds him and they basically start getting to know each other, and then like things happen, you know, life happens, terrible things happen. It really was breaking my heart at times, and then it was kind of like making me laugh, and it was very entertaining at some parts. And last but not least is a book that is very close to my heart. I was waiting for its release for a while, and the book is called Limitless by Jim Quick. Oh, I'm sitting on my feet and it's painful. I've been following Jim's journey for a while now, and he is one of the most inspiring people I have ever came across online. He went through so much in his life. When I first heard about him and about his journey, I was still having a very fixed mindset, and then I came across his story and I was like, how is this possible? And how he went from a boy with a broken brain to this like memory coach. And that was one of the first moments when I started realizing that there is a possibility of change of your mindset. I was so happy when I heard that he is releasing a book, and I needed to buy it, and it's filled with so many great tips how to overcome limiting self-beliefs and how to become limitless and how to get over your fixed mindset and change it to a growth mindset, and how to become a better learner and how to become a quicker learner and how to read more faster, and all of these like great tips on how to just evolve your mindset and just change your life ultimately. And when I hear a story like his, for example, I realize how everything really depends on your mindset and on what you believe in and what you think that you can do. Because if he can do it and other people can do it, so can I, and so can you, and so can anyone else, you know? So it really depends on what you have in here and what you believe in and how much work you put into the things that you want to do. But anything and everything is possible nowadays in this world, and you need to understand that there will be failure, and it's not going to be a straight line. It's going to be very difficult, it's gonna have its ups and downs, but ultimately you need to realize whether being in your comfort zone is the thing that makes you happy, or maybe leaving the comfort zone and going through the ups and downs is worth it and will get you where you want to be and will set your heart on fire, you know? Highly recommend it. So this is all from today's video, guys. If you read any of these books and you would like to leave your thoughts or feelings about them in the comments, you can do it down below. And if you have any book recommendations from me, I would highly appreciate that, and you can leave them down below too. And again, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!